Character of the Week. Today's character of the week is Exo, Man of War. So recently Bloodshot has a movie coming out, and the reason why we're choosing Exo, Man of War as a character of the week is because he was part of the vast, very, very vast universe of Valiant Comics. Before, some people want to think of Exo, Man of War as a great value version of Iron Man, but here's where they differ. The character's real name is Aric of Darcia. Basically, he's, I want to say, not a caveman, but like a barbarian who fought under the impressive rule of the Roman Empire. A man forged in battle. He was captured by the aliens, basically known as the Vine. So under the oppressive rule of the aliens, he formed a, resistance, and they decided to do like some sort of mutiny or take over the ship. He found one of their ancient weapons, or what he thought was an ancient weapon, turned out to be one of their greatest weapons, which is a suit of armor, a sentient suit of armor. The suit was named Shanhara. It was basically like a prophecy of some sort, where their greatest triumph or greatest battle would be won with that suit. And now that a human is wearing that suit, that kind of put a kibosh on their prophecy. Now, something time paradox. But anyway, while he was on this ship, apparently he was basically like on the ship for roughly like 1600 years or something like that. So he escaped and was in what's known as present day time. Now, the thing about Exo, Man of War or Valiant Comics is that all their characters are so intertwined with each other that to go into more history of Exo, Man of War is to pretty much go into Valiant Comics as a whole. So you should look up certain comics called, like one under Valiant Comics called Unity, which is kind of like their go-to guide or beginning origins of the universe as they delve into more serious and one-off characters that they have. Such as Bloodshot, Ninjak, Exo, Man of War. Valiant Comics is a comic book publication created by someone named Jim Shooter. Now, you should look up that name because that name is involved with a lot of the comic history and some of the greats that you know, which is why, again, Valiant Comics and Exo, Man of War at the time holds a great appreciation for me, because it came at a time when comics were just becoming a little what's known as edgy, or attitude, or extreme, because, it was the 90s. For me, Exo, Man of War came out in a time when I wasn't supposed to be reading those type of comics. This is also, like, you gotta keep in mind, I was a wee kid, so let's say this is anime at its early to peak prime time for the older millennials. Sci-Fi Channel was just showing anime, so you're seeing cartoons with blood and boobs, and then there's a comic with the same amount of gore, and I wasn't supposed to be reading it, but I was. And speaking of Iron Man, I've just remembered that there was a video game where both Iron Man and Exo, Man of War were together. I think it was called Heavy Metal back in '96. This is one of those games where the cover looked better than the game. But it was a side-scrolling action game on PlayStation.